This is a paid advertisement on behalf of Upside Gold. What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital, and we're here with Sophy Cesar, CEO of Upside Gold. Pleasure to have you back on today, Sophie. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Aaron. How are you?
I'm excited to be talking about the company. You know, it's been a couple months since you've IPO'd. We've covered the story since day one. So, since we last spoke around the IPO, Upside Gold has now been trading for a couple of months. How would you summarize the company's progress so far, both in terms of market reception and what you've been able to accomplish operationally?
Well, it's been a busy couple of months. We most recently actually listed on the OTCQB under the ticker UGODF. We also, right out of the gate, listed on the Frankfurt Exchange under the ticker 47I. And then we've had a pretty good amount of news flow. We announced the results of our end of October, November drill program, the 1,000 meters. The program showed broad intersect zones of near surface, significant gold mineralization with the elevated copper and silver values. So basically demonstrating the width and continuity of the gold mineralization along the northeastern margin of the resource. And the grades were comparable to the historical resource. So that was some really, really good news. We also put out news on the field program that we did, identifying, we're probably going to bring that to market shortly, but we identified at least 20 drill targets for the 2026 drill season. And we did a lot of marketing, and we hit the road in the US. We had speaking engagements. We met with investors. We attended PDAC. We presented at the CSE investor luncheon. So, I mean, we had the opportunity to be in front of 150, 200 investors over the last month. So, yeah, it's been very, very busy for us.
Wow, that's awesome. And yeah, PDAC was a very busy one this year, probably the busiest. I've seen it in the last, I can't remember when. So, so you and
Definitely
Trevor,
pre 2020.
yes, that's a great that's a great way to put it. So you and Trevor have been emphasizing a three-pillar resource growth strategy. Can you break down for investors and explain how it's designed to drive meaningful resource expansion over the next 12 to 18 months?
Yeah, so we like to call it our three-pillar approach. So as we move ahead, and our plan is to update that deemed historical resource from 2021 of 3.31 million ounces, we're looking at it from three different aspects. The first one is, following that report, the recommended drilling was done. So there is 5,000 meters of drilling that was done in 2021 and 2022 that have not been taken into account. So that's our first pillar. That's just a matter of taking that information and compiling it. Then the second thing we're going to do is, we ourselves have drilled 1,000 meters and plan to drill another 4,000 meters this field season. So by September, we're going to have our 5,000 meters as well of drilling. So we're going to incorporate the first 5,000, our 5,000, so 10,000 meters of drilling in total. And the real kicker is, we're also going to incorporate copper and silver values that have never been taken into consideration. So we're looking at it as a three-pronged approach to really upsizing that resource.
Great. So looking ahead to this year, you've planned, as you said, another 5,000 meters of drilling. So what are the key objectives of that program? What should investors be watching for as results start to come in?
So I think what's really exciting about that program is we've identified over 20 drill sites that we want to drill. And it's really to push the borders of that current resource, and also go to the Kootenay copper zone and bring that zone into the historical resource. It's going to be a really intense drill program over 2 months. but that's going to lead into the fall where we will then be able to update investors and further update that historical resource.
Yeah, we look forward to those results. Definitely have you back on to discuss those. So with the incorporation of additional drilling data and the inclusion of copper and silver values that weren't previously accounted for, as you mentioned, how should investors think about the potential scale of the updated resource you're targeting in Q1 of 2027?
What a great question. I mean, I think investors should see this as a significant resource update. I mean, we're already dealing with a historical resource from 2021, so rather recent, but we're targeting internally to see an increase there of 30 to 40% on that resource, and also bringing in those copper and silver values. So from an investor perspective, I guess I think the best way to look at it is, this is not a new project. There's been de-risking done with the historical resource from 2021. There's de-risking in terms of access to the project. As we've mentioned before, you and I, there's direct highway access and then logging roads from the highway directly onto site, and then updating that resource with those silver and copper values. So I think that de-risks it a lot and gives, and again, I find myself saying it way too often, but it gives investors that upside to the project itself and the growth of Kootenay as we move forward.
That's great. Well, lots of things to come, and thank you for the update. I look forward to having you back on. And in the meantime, best of luck with everything. It's going to be an exciting year for you guys.
Thank you very much, Aaron.